Good evening, everybody. Thanks a lot for joining us. We're back. We're live. It is a Monday night. Let the good times roll. What a weekend we've had, guys. I don't even know where to start with the streams tonight. There's so much stuff going on. We had the London trip at the weekend. Tons of fun. Met a bunch of you guys. And yeah, it was fantastic from start to finish. Everyone had a great time that attended and cannot wait for round two. We had a great weekend on the Gameweek front as well. Should be walking out with some prizes, which is cool. Got a little fun team for the midweek, and I'm already looking ahead to next weekend. Sprinkled in amongst all of that, of course, the timeline's been popping off really for the last 48 hours around rewards, competition, veracity, if that's the word I'm trying to say, as well as a few other kind of side subjects that kind of all lead into the same kind of well. And what else? And yet, the Sorare Data World League fucking spanked Red Bull Govan, absolute hammering in the first round, and I've got Morts in the next leg. So I've not checked Morts out. I've not scouted him yet. We'll be having a wee nosy at Morts and thinking about what he might do. I'll have a wee first kind of glance over my team and throw that together, as well as just all that other kind of stuff I've kind of mentioned to you there. At any point in the video, if you're watching this live or after you've been live, thank you very much. Fist bump to all of you. It means the world to me. If you do laugh, you learn, you like something or whatever, please do like and subscribe, share and retweet and all that good stuff. It goes a long, long way to supporting the content in the channel, and I thank you eternally, no end, for the support you've given me thus far and continue to do so. So thank you very much. And I hope we have some good fun tonight. I want to hear in the live chat what you've been pulling out, if you got any rewards, because there was a few spanners thrown into the works. It kind of started the game week off with people bitching and moaning about fucking locks and all the rest of it, which is fine. It's nothing new. We're all subject to the same rules, and it is what it is, you know. It happens to everyone. But anyway, that's a conversation we'll get into as the stream goes on. But so yeah, in a lot of ways, a lot of the game weeks was kind of, in a lot of ways, the game week became a bit more open than you would have maybe thought entering into it. So how did that pay off for you? Did you get a surprise reward? Did you come up a wee bit higher than normal? Let me know in the live chat with us tonight. If you're watching this after we've been live, again, just comment below anything that you've maybe pulled out from the game week, as well as maybe even what you're thinking ahead into game week 295 for, in terms of any competitions you might enter, or if there's any kind of edge to be gotten with your gallery. Everything's kind of fallen into place, and maybe this midweek you can capitalise upon it, because it is one of those midweeks where specific galleries, and it's not necessarily big ones, but specific galleries can have the edge, where it's like, oh, brilliant, I've actually got 2 full teams going out, and the amount of people that have fixtures in this game week will be much less than before, because like the qualifiers we've got, yeah, there's some okay teams in them, but the coverage in terms of the Opta coverage for these games is quite sporadic, so some teams that you would expect to have coverage in out actually don't, and as well as that, the kind of non-EU games, is there any real MLS? I don't think there's any. MLS might not even have any midweeks this so it's like a wee bit of Argentina going on. I think there's some Libertadores or some stuff. Some Brazilian teams are playing some big games. So yeah, it's one of those ones. Sorted. Thanks for joining me tonight. Now, I guess I'll drop in first of all. We'll get all the fist bumps done, and I'll catch up with all you guys that are joining us live with the stream tonight. And then, yeah, I'm sure I'm going to recognise some faces and we'll get chatting a wee bit about London. I see first and foremost at the top, Shaka Boom, fist bump, good to see my man. Olympic manager, who I think was the first person I really met upon arrival at London. Great to see you, my man. And I hope you had a great time. It was lovely to meet you. Mikey Basson, fist bump, my man, good to see you. Lan Sraka, fist bump, good to see you, my man. Thanks for joining us. Or girl, sorry, I don't know Lan. Sorry. Alex Wilson, fist bump, my man. Ian Sorare, hoodwink, good to see you. And Totty, I've got a video, you know. I don't think anyone else was really there, but I've got a video and I need to get it. I think my wife's got it on her phone. That will be coming out, Totty, so if you don't follow me on Twitter and Instagram, make sure you do, because that'll be good banter. Mikey Basson can tell Mrs. Quinn was on this weekend's jolly, no Spider-Man socks. I was actually wearing, no one even noticed what socks I was wearing, because I was wearing like real shoes where you couldn't see my socks, but it was Hulk. I had Hulk socks on this week. Nobody noticed, but Simon SR, fist bump, my man, good to see you. Anania, good to see you. Alex Wilson, I've already fist bumped you. Giacomo Zamboni, no staying out of trouble this time, Quinny. No, I didn't really get in trouble in London. I got really drunk, and the thing is, I was like, I'm not really a drinker, but I think like if I'm going to go out on an adventure like this, that's kind of how I phrase it to my kids, you know, like when we're doing stuff. But that's what I was saying to my missus. It's like, oh, we've got a wee adventure. We're going down to London to meet some folk and all the rest of it. Then I'm in party mode. I'm here to have a good time. I want to meet everyone, have a great time, high fives and fist bumps. And, you know, I can remember, everyone I spoke to, and everyone who, when I was speaking away to them, were telling me their names and stuff. And I was like, oh yeah, like Totty and, you know, a few other guys, like, you know, straight away I knew exactly who I was meeting, and it was an absolute pleasure. But, like, see, the next morning, I can still remember everyone I met, but trying to remember exactly, and again, I kind of know all the names I met, but I can't remember whose name went with whose face now a little bit, and I'm terribly sorry for that. I hope you can appreciate the situation I'm in, meeting like 50 of these for the first time. Yeah, great banter from all. Fantastic time was had. But I don't think I got in trouble necessarily. I think as well, there's a picture that went on Twitter, and like the way the light hits my hair, it looks like, I thought it looked awful. Like somebody showed me that picture and I was like, oh my god, man, it looks like I've got big huge clumps of gel, and that's what I thought, you know, like. And then people are like silver fox and stuff like that, and I didn't really understand the nice comments. I'm like, I don't know how you can look at this picture and pay me a compliment. I don't get it. So thanks for any kind words that came my way, although I don't understand them. Anania, even though most of us struggle understanding you, bro, we all love you. I'm sorry, I try my best to speak as at a good tempo for long as I possibly can, but I do get carried away, and we can't help that. Morts is hardcore, played in SD Rare League, got 650-ish. Whoa. Morts is hardcore, I'll need to do a bit of scouting. Channy, my man, fist bump, good to see you. Jay Coyle, fist bump, good to see you. Non-stick Llama is currently 14th in Underdog Super Rare. Fucking good on you, my man. Sorare, Josh, fist bump, enjoy the Romo that you bought off me earlier today. John O'Nesbit, fist bump, my man. James Honey, fist bump, good to see you. Ross County goal killed me, man. Like, the guys that were in the pub with me will know, like, I was riding on a wave, man. Like, I was saying to everyone, I was like, I'm winning. I am winning a division this week. Like, it was like 1-0 Celtic, and it was like, yes, like, as soon as we get a goal, and it was Kyogo Jota, double decisive, fantastic. And yeah, when they went 1-1, I was just like, oh man, I just knew, like, I couldn't really win anything now at that point, but it was just to do as well as possible. Maeda getting subbed off at half time. I've still not even really, I've only seen the goals back. I need to actually, between tonight and tomorrow, get to see the 90 minutes, because what I want to know, because I had a wee kind of brief chat with Channy actually and one or two others, like, about Maeda, and like the thing with Ross County, and I didn't see the game, right, but I've seen Celtic play Ross County enough times in my life to, you know, I could probably imagine the whole game relatively well, you know. But Maeda, what the manager really loves about Maeda and what he really offers us is that he has that Duracell bunny just running about, pressing every man and his dog. And Ross County is such a small pitch that isn't really that much of a, you know, special sauce, if you like. It's not so much of a silver bullet in that situation, because this pitch is so small that even somebody who's not a mad pressing machine can cover that ground. Maeda's so impressive because he can cover such large spaces so consistently, so regularly, at such a high level of intensity. So it might be something we need to consider when using Maeda, whether he's home or away. And away, you know, some Scottish pitches are a bit more favourable to him, certainly, and Europe could be very favourable to him. So that's something I want to see in the game in the first half, because it was a half-time change. Like, again, I don't think it's necessarily going to be down to displeasure from the manager as much as a tactical thing, because like we spoke about last week with Abada, what Abada gives you is he goes on the front foot and he puts the opposition on the back foot, and if you're able to get him on the ball in any sort of space, that's what he's always going to do, and that can just cause havoc. And he was very effective by all accounts in the game. I had him in my specialist team, and that kind of came in as the L40 goal scorer, which was lovely. L15 under 40, you know what I'm saying. But the goal conceded was an absolute kick in the balls. But the pub was a great laugh as well, and some people came to the pub on Saturday who didn't come to the thing on the Friday, and that was cool as well, because you got to meet more people. And we just stayed in this one place in London. It was really fancy. I think it was called like Greenwood or something. And yeah, we stayed there from like, I don't know, like 12:30. We watched the early kickoff kind of passively. Who was it? It was Liverpool and I say QPR, but it wasn't QPR, it was Fulham. Just the stadium in my mind felt the same there for a second. And then we sat through Soccer Saturday watching all the goals pop in, because they do put Bundesliga kicked off at half two, and you know, I had Nemeka and stuff, and some other guys had some German cards, and you know, blah blah blah, whatever. And yeah, I left there to go and get the wife back for, me and her, having a wee night out sort of thing about 6ish or something. But I know guys have stayed there at the table till 9, so from start to finish it was a great time. I think even on the first night, like I didn't get back to the hotel till like 2 in the morning, and I think I had a message from John like at 4 or something. So it was a riot by all accounts, and a great time. I don't think anyone got, there was no trouble or anything, a riot in a good way. That picture looks epic. I just don't get it. I'm sorry. Zach Estrella, fist bump. Good to see my man. Ray Dino SR, the thumbnail image. I need to catch up with Mark because I've not spoken to him. I messaged him over the weekend saying that he'd bribed Lampy because he'd done so bad, and then he's like, "Oh, I played him too," and I was like, "Oh." But one of the things I'm so happy about with that victory over him is 2 seconds. I'm going to go get it up on screen. I've got it here. Is we deliberately done this to upset the management at Red Bull Govan. Is that we captained Giacomakis and we still beat him with Captain Giacomakis coming off the bench and not scoring. So that's just a wee bit of rubbing salt in the wounds. Overall, I finished on 618 points, which I think is actually a really good score. It's definitely one of the better scores I can think of off the top of my head. Robbo let us down in a big way. Lampy let us down in a big way. But overall, Morgan was a bit of a wet blanket as well, but everyone else did pretty well. Mark was a bit unfortunate, a bit unlucky I should say, with the goalkeeper as well not playing much of a difference. The boy Bigley is playing the now, and it's probably, I don't know, he's maybe just off the bench or something, and he's got Shona off the bench picking up the points here, so he's just going to be a wee bit short. Unfortunately for him, Maeda didn't do the business, and Captain Kyogo just couldn't outdo Captain Giacomakis, it would seem. So yeah, we move on from that, and I will be playing Morts in the next one, right? So let's actually just go and check Morts out real quickly, right? Now we can play in limiteds, right? So let's go and check out where Morts is rocking. Oh yeah, Morts is not to be, same as Red Bull Govan, by the way. That was no easy game by any stretch of the imagination. That was a real game that I wanted to win because it's a big coup. Mark's won like divisions and stuff like that, like over the summer. I couldn't, ripe his honours list off for you right now, but Mark will tell you as quickly as he will that he's won a bunch of stuff, and Morts is a prize getter, no doubt about it. So I don't know what's he likely to throw against me this week. Get some big cards on Luis Diaz, maybe. Veerman was probably going to play for him, I would imagine. Zacharian is a good shout to play for him. Goalkeepers, he's got a few decent picks there. He can just kind of chase a clean sheet somewhere. Fabio Vieira probably doesn't make it in. Sven Botman probably plays. I don't know. I think when we get to limiteds, we might see some of the killers. Yeah, we've got 2 Zacharians for sure. Lucas Hernandez is a shout. Sucic, yeah, I think he's going to have enough to be able to pick around some good fixtures. Big SMS. I don't know if he should be playing. Jesus Ferreira seen there as well. I think Dallas have got an okay enough fixture. Range, Tapsoba, another Simican there. Bremt, Nemeth, Ferguson. I'm maybe missing some rares here as well. I'm sure. I think Morts is definitely going to be a fierce competitor as well. And again, I think I'm away from home, so I don't know if that's because they want FC Barcelona on the telly all the way in the run up to winning the championship or something, but I'm pretty sure that was round 1. Round 2, we're away to Morts. So let's have a look and see who I can play. Now, for this, I want to be tactical again. So we went 4-3-3 last week, okay? So I'm just going to start off with the base formation, and then if I notice a particular weakness in midfield or attack in particular, really, then I'll adjust the formation accordingly. So I think before I really get into this, I can see some comments and stuff, so I'll come back into the chat because some of these are talking about the weekend and that, and I want to catch some of these. These are here chatting about that. When it was Kyogo that scored, I really thought it was going to make my week. Yeah, same. I thought it was going to be the kick on of like a hat trick or something. Every decisive attack. I love it. Tarek for Genk, and I didn't know he had an ACL torn. Oh, that's so hard. Anani, I'm sorry to hear that. Tom Bradley, good to see you. It was great to meet you as well, buddy. Mikey Basson, is Stish really that short, or are you taller than I thought? No, Stish is like, Stish will tell you, like, Stish is like, he's like, I don't know, heights. I'm like 5'11" or 6 foot. I'm like that one, that's like just not quite 6 foot, but the one like just that much under it. That's the height I am. Yeah, I'm not good with heights and stuff. I take back what I said about Kyogo not being enough for a Celtic stack. No, Kyogo can definitely. I've seen the same thing privately about Maeda with McBride and Hendo. Like Maeda, I think just needs one game where he gets a goal and an assist, and he'll just go on a tear. You know, that's the sort of guy he is. Once he gets his groove and gets in a rhythm, then he's a muscle memory type of player. I think he's a momentum guy. So once he gets going, I think he'll be hard to stop. That's my kind of opinion on him. I don't think Abada can be. I don't think Abada is as nailed on to be as effective from the start, depending on whether you're home or away in the opposition, if that makes sense. So I think that does come into the manager's thinking also on that note. Imagine buying Carlos Lampe rare. I know I shat it on Carlos Lampe rare Bass, because when Mark Patrick Rare actually recommended him to me, his rare was like point. He was recommending him to me, and he was like going up gradually over like a week to 2 weeks period between 0.1 to a quarter of an Ethereum. And just because of his age and stuff, and it was a kind of crap team in Argentina, and I'd kind of had my hands burnt with Axel Werner at Arsenal, who's now actually back on the bench for Elche, so fingers crossed he becomes a champ Euro goalkeeper through some sort of miracle. That would be fantastic. Then I was a wee bit hesitant. I got the limited because it was just too cheap to not have a shot at, But yeah, I wish I picked up a couple of rares, because he's a killer. This weekend was horrible. Have nothing for 295, Alex Wilson. Going to focus on 296, giving Specialist Limited a proper go with your big guns. Good on you, my man. Harrison Clark, good to see, my man. Fist bump. Maeda plays better at home. Yeah, I think the pitch definitely suits him, undoubtedly. Stockton Matt Ryan moved to Copenhagen. Oh, wow, did he? What a transfer that is for him. Wow, let me go and check. Has the market reflected that? Maybe, but maybe not limited. Limited, that could be a killer. Just not that many fixtures in Denmark, but for a rare, that could be brilliant, man, if you got him early enough. That number 2 transfer strategy, Killison just moved to today or yesterday. I'm pretty sure it was today. I seen it. I think Hendo sent me it this morning. Killison has moved to NEC just to get minutes, just because he's trying to get to the World Cup. So Matt Ryan's done that move as well, and obviously, I don't know if Bolivia are even going to the World Cup, but I know obviously Lampe is an international keeper and wants to be playing. So guys, in that kind of situation, I think Romo might be coming into that situation, because I'm quite certain DC have signed a goalkeeper. I think it might have been that Ochoa guy, the guy at Salt Lake. Somebody can fact check me on that. Or is Venezuela number 1 maybe a guy that's in France or something? I think I was looking at Barzab. No, it's Venezuela. Who's Joseph Martinez play for? It's Venezuela, isn't it? I'm getting confused. There's an Ecuadorian guy as well. I think it's an international keeper that, I don't know, it all kind of rolls into one eventually, doesn't it? But wow, that's a great transfer. Harrison Clark, congratulations, my man. Mikey Basson's on the Killison news as well. Bass has got a limited and a rare Lampe. Good to see. I know you've spoken about Igor Tudor before. Any idea why he benched Payet at the weekend? I think Payet, the only place he gets in to Tudor's team is if he's playing where he seems to be playing Milik, if he's going to play up that sole number 10 job, or he can play in the midfield too. And I don't think Payet really has the legs to pull either of those jobs off when that team's full strength. So if he's not playing now, I would be worried about Payet, to be quite honest with you. You need to really talk to people who are closer to Marseille to see what's being said by the manager, because I don't know what his quotes are or anything, but I just know from watching Verona, like, the front three was Caprari, Barak and Simeone for the most part. There was another guy that rotated in between the three of them at different spells through form and injury and suspension. But those guys are quick, and they had Lazovic, who's signed for Marseille as well, as the left wing back, and he is like a left winger basically, and it's a 3-4-3. It's kind of offset, but those two midfielders have to be dynamic. They have to be like dynamic sixes, and maybe one of them can be a wee bit adventurous sometimes. But those two guys were Ivan Illich, who's on his way to Lazio, fingers crossed that works out good for me, and Miguel Veloso. And if you know Miguel Veloso, he's a bit more of a, he's a William Carvalho. They're the same nationality, so that's quite a good comparison. Just like a strong defensive six, doesn't do very much else, can maybe win a header at a corner, get the odd goal a season kind of guy. So I don't see Payet fitting into any of those moulds necessarily. So unless he is going to adapt to accommodate Payet, which with some of the talent, like bringing in Alexis Sanchez is going to start, and as well Under is doing very well, and he played Gerson in that forward position. I think I seen in the first game, but Gerson I think played very well in centre midfield. And I know we made Rongier captain, but who do they play next to Ronje? Because that might be where Gerson ends up, is next to Ronje, because I could see that working out very well. And then Alexis Sanchez comes in on the left, but Under on the right, and Milik in the middle. And then you've got the other guys on the bench that featured last season. I only had a wee look at it earlier, so I'm sorry I'm not up to speed on Marseille, but that's the best I've got. I'm sorry. DC signed David Ochoa. Mikey Basson's confirmed it, as has Hoodwink as well. If we have a national goalie from NEC, we shouldn't go to Qatar. Bass talking about the Dutch national team. Viviano had a shocker this week. Yes, he certainly did. But I'm glad he got it out of the way this week, because my team was kind of dead anyway that he was in. So like, I don't really feel like I've lost one of his big scores. And that's one of the things as well, like, I wanted to talk about when it comes to like the competitive element of Sorare, right? Is no player plays amazing every week. No team plays amazing every week. And the way that game modes are structured, like underdog and specialist and yada yada, all the rest of it, that the game is about playing to your strength, you know. Like I'm really looking, we'll actually be doing this in the stream tonight at some point, right? But I'm like totally, like, we'll get to when I do lineup builder, right? But when it comes to how strong the competition is versus how strong of the entries that you need to make, then like I'm always of the opinion that I can crack this, you know. Like, I always look at my gallery, and fair enough, not every gallery you have the ability to do this, but you should be working your way towards where you can envisage a situation where it's like, I have a team in here somewhere that if I nail the captain and I get it right with the striker and I get lucky with the, you know, blah blah blah, then it can happen. And then you're competing maybe a wee bit above the level for the team that you've got. And otherwise you're maybe working towards that, because there's nothing wrong with not being competitive, because no one opens up an account and is going for top 10s and top 100s and top 1000s or whatever immediately without spending a big bit of Buddha. And even if you do have a big wedge of cash, it's not even really that fun. I don't think anyone comes in and just spends a load of money. Everyone likes to take a bit of time, think about it, get their own guys, look for bargains, snipe an auction, do some deals, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, for me personally, like, I'm looking at how competitive it was this weekend. I think I'm walking out with a couple of prizes, thankfully, which is nice. And I'm thinking about next weekend keeping that up or trying to improve upon it, and how I can do that without adding to the squad, you know. So we'll be hopefully having a wee look at that when we go through. Valenzuela Farunas says, hey, my Jay Coyle, did you catch any of the Edinburgh Derby? I didn't. I do like Porteous. He's on my favourites list. I like Porteous because he looks like a kind of, like, I've watched him play. I've seen him play like for a combined of like 60 minutes or something across 2 games. But he seems like a kind of no nonsense kind of guy. Like, he's a defender. He's built like a rugby player, which I like as well. And I don't know if he's technically good enough to maybe go like to the top, you know. But it could be a very good SPFL card for sure. Chrissy Holt, fist bump, good to see you. Who do you think is the best value midfielder on the platform? Chris Holt, that's a great question. If you can help me at all with just scarcity and a wee bit of a qualification on what you deem is best value, if that's okay. Ray Wilkinson, hey mate, do you think it's worth having a team for the World Cup? It's not worth building a team for the World Cup, but it's definitely worth allowing yourself to have a team. So like, if you have, just by chance anyway, 3 or 4 cards that will play in the group stages, the group stages is 3 matches a team basically, right? So if you've got 3 or 4 guys that are likely to play 2 or 3 matches, then I would buy another guy. I kind of have been looking to do that anyway, but I would not go from 0 to team, you know. I wouldn't recommend that, you know. I'm sure they'll do different competitions as well for like this Freakley kind of idea as well. So even if you do have free cards, I don't think there's really a huge pressure to go and make sure you've got a fully fledged team through the whole competition either. Even if you just fancy like Belgium to get to the semis, and you can get like a Belgium defender and I don't know, like Origi or I don't know, something. And then, you know, you understand what I'm saying. You can even just go get 3 guys that are kind of decent that you fancy might get to the semi-finals, and you can just play Freakleys the whole time, you know. So that's kind of what I would say on that, to be honest. By the way, why was Shonen Game not marked as... Yeah, I think that's been caught, that Tanny clean sheet. Optica was so dodgy with scoring. Yeah, it's a pain in the ass sometimes, isn't it? Daniel Cooper, fist bump, good to see you, my man. Rishi, fist bump, good to see you. Hendo, good to see you, my man. I'm very good, man. Thanks. How are you? How's the Mbappe negotiations going? Let me know. Mickey Basson, also now the points gap between reward tiers, especially in limited, is so narrow. Yeah. Big Portal loves a tackle. SRD. Isco for 0 point. Isco. Isco, I did a tweet saying he could be, should be, and might be, probably will be, in my opinion, the Carlos Hela champion Europe, because Isco is wildly talented. He's a fantastic footballer on like every, Isco is brilliant. He's a fantastic player, and it's not really like if you've been and this isn't to say anything other than just literally the words that are coming out of my mouth. If you haven't seen like Isco be amazing in a game, if you've never watched any of those games where that's happened, because it's happened, it just hasn't happened frequently and on a kind of consistent basis, just because of he's just not always been in the best 11, and whatever else linked away in and out, different managers liked him and didn't like him and all the rest of it. He's fantastic, and Seville and Lopetegui, that could just be like hand and glove if a fit, dovetail stuff, so I think Isco is fantastic value, kind of regardless of what his price is. If it's under that's fantastic, man. He's 30, but I don't care. He is going to rip it for Seville. Like, I don't really know who Seville have in attack at the moment, in terms of actual forwards. I think that's maybe a question mark, is who is he supplying? It's maybe the last thing I would want to maybe cement this opinion with, because in the Serie isn't Ben Yedder, right? Let's just say it, right? He's not Ben Yedder. Tecatito was okay, but I think he got injured like twice at least. Munir's a wee bit lightweight. Lucas Ocampos is decent as well, but he is streaky. And then there's somebody else that's been kind of playing in attack. Yeah, like Papu Gomez is great, but a bit older. Lamela is quite streaky, quite flaky. Rakitic is old, of course. So, they do have great players in their team. I think in the Serie it could be upgraded, basically. I think he's good. I think he's good value for money, because he can get 12 goals this season, no matter what. Maybe 4 of them are from the bench or something, which can be a pain in the backside. And then maybe he can get 5 or 6 goals in Europe for them. But I don't think he's... there's just no other way of putting it. He's not Ben Yedder, he's not... Seville have had much better strikers over the years. Ben Yedder's just the one I cannot remove from the front of my head right now as I'm speaking to you. But yeah, Isco I think is fantastic. Been playing football, mate. Can I get in touch with the guy? Ooh, ouch. Did you see 500 points in Champ Euro Unlimited doesn't even get you on the podium? Yeah, I did catch that. And Champ Euro is it's the most elite of the elite, so it's one of those ones where it's kind of been I think the people who are up there, see the guys that have got those teams with the big XP, I think if you ask any of them, did you see this coming? Every one of them would say yes. And I think if we're kind of all being honest, when Limiteds came out, that's what everyone who scooped up hundreds at the beginning said, was like, I want to have my edge, and I'm going to get it here by doing this. And they're having their day in the sun, and brilliant. Fair play to them, because it's not going to be long until a couple of things happen. Number one, new season cards are going to come out, and every limited that has currently got their season bonus, if I'm sure some of them have not lost it already, because I was looking at bonuses and stuff my limiteds have, they're going to lose that. And then the new season cards come out, and then all of a sudden that XP differential is out the window for the entire ballpark, for like 3 months or something, probably. I don't know. Maybe a month, I don't know, right? But it will be level playing field again for a short period of time, and then that fresh allotment of cards is then going to replenish the prize pools. And one thing I actually caught a glimpse of, I think Pity's Sorare Data Pity or PT, I don't know how to say it, I'm sorry, a fantastic tweet, something I caught a glimpse of it, but I'm pretty sure it was along the same kind of thing of what I was thinking. Is Sorare set out at the beginning I don't know, way back earlier this year, that they want the prize pools to be consistent all year round and blah de blah, all the rest of it. And I know, because I always look at, for me, the totem pole is All-Star Rare Pro, right? And I know over the last 2 weeks when we've had back what we've had back, and I'm waiting to see what it is for the weekend, but we've had over 200, 120, 125, and we had 145 the 2 weekends. Let's see what we get this weekend, right? But that if it is like 140ish, that is an improvement on last year already, and there is more prize pools, there is more competitions that are on and being fulfilled, never mind everything else they're doing. So for them to maintain, we're at the dregs of the pool right now, like we really are at the last we're at the last barrel, like. And again, I know Sorare are doing power hours for stuff, and people are like, oh great, like auction stuff off that's going to lose its season bonus, but I've bought cards end of season that lose their season bonus before because you didn't want to buy them because they lose their season bonus. I get a sneaky auction nobody's looking at, and also sometimes I want to buy a particular card in a particular season for a particular reason, and this might be the last auction it comes up on. So I've really got no problem with them like kind of selling cards in that fashion, because again, like I just think like if you're buying it, you know what you're buying, and I can imagine I'm not the only person that's bought a card in that kind of frame of mind, so I've not really got any real issue with that. Picked up a Modeste for the Dortmund type, Channy. That could be a apex snipe, by the way. Love the deal personally. The thing about Modeste is very much like he scores in the Bundesliga. Like he's been doing that, you know, for like I've not looked at his credentials right, but I'm gonna go on a limb here and say he's had 4 seasons in the Bundesliga where he's scored circa 15 goals or so. I know he went to China for some money, and I think he's ended up some other places, but him at Dortmund, he's going to score goals. That's not going to be a problem in the short term while they wait for Haller to come back. I know Adeyemi's took a little knock for a week or two, and they've got Mukuoko knocking around as well, who, and again, like, this is exactly the example. He's going to be, for me, this is what I thought when I seen that transfer. Burak Yilmaz, when he went to Lille from CSKA Moscow, remember everyone was like, what the hell are you doing? Or was it Moscow or Fenerbahce? Galatasaray. It's like, why are Lille buying this 36-year-old guy from Galatasaray? And it was like they won the league with him, you know. So I think Modeste can do that job. He can be the Yilmaz type guy. So yeah, I'm all about that. I love that. Already looking for Payet replacements. What do you think of Di Maria at Juve? Di Maria, I think, could do. I don't see any reason Di Maria doesn't rinse Serie A. I think he goes to Serie A and you see the Di Maria that was at Real Madrid again all of a sudden, just because of the level, the style of play in Italy, and like what Di Maria still has and what he still brings. I think will be wildly effective in a Juve team, to be honest, especially with the types of like Vlahovic and some of the other players. Like, I think Juve are actually going to be quite poor this year, but I think Di Maria will be very good at Juve. Seville had looked De Jong last season on loan. Yeah, he's a wee bit better, but it's not. Yeah, he would maybe be a wee bit better for Isco, I suppose. I don't know. One small bonus about the Russian cards is keeping their bonus for another year. Yeah, the Russian cards. I heard a fantastic podcast from Techers and Josh this morning on Techers' YouTube channel, and they were talking about the kind of imbalance that it's kind of caused. Maybe a few other people have referenced this as well, but like the Russian cards still compete in Challenger, but they have no payout. Kinda, if you know what I mean. So traditionally, the way the prize pools are meant to work, of course, is like cards that can be won and played, and all the rest of it all comes into the formula. And the Russian cards definitely like skew the scales because they can't be paid out as rewards because of the whole situation or whatever. Do you not look at the Sorare calendar? The prize pools are shown in that. Yeah, I'll pull that up. I always forget about that. XMK, great catch, my man. Thanks very much. Fist bump. Even though they lose their season bonuses, aren't a thing in Specialist. Exactly, J Coyle. Like, that's what I think with Limited. I don't really care most of the time about bonuses if I'm buying somebody for Specialist or Underdog, because XP does not matter. His best was 25 goals and 20 twice so far, I believe. That's a fantastic ceiling from Modeste, you know. He can, I've got no doubt he can do it. But what I was meaning is, like, he's probably got 4 where he's over, like, kind of 12, 15. So if there is 2 best ones, then I'd love to, I'll maybe check it out. But yeah, fantastic. I think Modeste is a big win when he does play. He's also just subject to the return of Haller and maybe just minute relief with Mukuoko on some weaker fixtures and whatever, who knows. But I think he'll be a killer. He'll score goals, no problem. The Yilmaz hype is real over here in the Netherlands. Well, he again is in a great situation. He's kind of doing the same thing with Leo in Holland. I forget the team he went to. Is it Groningen or NAC? I can't remember who it was he went to, but he should be like a killer. He should be like a main man on penalties, doing all sorts of stuff, and kind of like Bas Dost used to do, like bully some teams and stuff like that. I think was it Portugal. He was very effective. That kind of vibes is what I'm getting now from him. Hendo took 12.4 E for Mbappe. Fist bump, my man. Good to see it. What a deal. Congratulations, my man. That Mbappe, wow. Congratulations. 12.4 E. How much is that now? Must be like 15k or something. Well done, mate. Burak, did you see the free kick he scored at the weekend? It was a decent free kick. Nice. Fortuna that's who he went to. This is why Asia is the best league. Premier League distorts champion Euro. Russia distorts challenger. Mexico, Brazil, Yeah, that's a good point, Connor Aspel. Fist bump. And Connor, I met you in London. I know I did. For sure. Great point, by the way, buddy. 18k Hendo. Swish, my man. They've got Turkish owners. Nice. That's why they attracted Yilmaz there. We're going for 36 minutes, guys. I've just been chatting gibberish with you, so I hope you are having fun. There's about 50 of you here. If you could do me a massive favour and hit like on the stream, or if you're watching this after we've been live, if you're still here and you're having a good time, hit like on the video, please. It means a lot to me. So I kind of touched on the kind of rewards. That's just my general kind of overview on the situation. Do I think rewards can be, should be, and will be improved? Yes, but like in general, in terms of the competition veracity, like it's SO5. Every player can score between 0 and 100, and you've got captains and XPs. So like there is like a maximum score that is feasible, and there's not many combinations that will hit that. And people will try their best to work out what those combinations will be. And sometimes, and most often, those are going to be the biggest and most expensive players on the platform because they are the most reliable, the most consistent at the highest level. So like that's a real just unavoidable fact of life. It's the food chain. It's the law of the jungle. Best players are the best at football, and that's why we love them. And there's kind of not much you can really do about that, unfortunately. When so many of them play so well in the same game week, then that's just like eye of the storm hurricanes. You just can't do anything about that. But like I said, rewards could, should, and will be, I'm sure, like improved and extended upon in some respect. But that's just what we're on. New whale on site, Sorare France. That's who is bought Hendo's Mbappe. He's got a £250,000 gallery already, and he only joined on the 6th of August. Wow, gee whiz, what a guy. Hendo, are you also based in Fife? I believe he is. That calls for a few celebration beers, Hendo. Yeah, the Milky Bars are on Hendo for sure. You can say that again. But I'm looking now into... So, it's Monday. I'll show you what I've done for the game week that we're just leaving behind, right? So I should be walking out with a tier 1 rare and a tier 1 limited. Barrial, by the way, I wish to God. This guy is a real lesson in those reward rares that I should just have kept. I think I sold him for like a real nominal fee at the time. I can't remember what the hell I'd done with the proceeds. But if I had that rare this game week that I won, and I love my rewards, I love my wins, I love to try and keep a hold of them as often as I can, he would have went into my U23 Pro team. And my U23 Pro team now is currently carrying a Tyler Adams in midfield on like 50 points or something, and is coming in with a prize. So if I doubled that score we added on our 50 points or so, we would be on the podium. So I feel, and I don't let you guys who are regular viewers of the channel will know I'm not a shoulda, woulda, coulda guy, but when when this is what I've got coming 30th, I think we've done good. Nemeka, there's a claim for an assist, and actually that was one thing I wanted to do before using the stream. I wanted to do a tweet as Opta fans, but I can't be bothered. Get you all to like it and try and put some peer pressure on them. But so yeah, I'll be coming in with a tier 1 from that, and this is coming in with a tier 1 as well. I think, is it this one? Yes, it is. So yeah, Barry Al come in with 100, kick ass and take names. The rest of the team done okay. Magno was a bit of a letdown, and yeah, the game week just was what it was. In the end, it wasn't anything too spectacular. We've still got the foundation team going. Can it win a reward? Probably not. And Dishamai did play, which is good. At least we had him on the pitch. We're going to get him on the pitch as well, but yeah, we're too far off at this point. I thought this was going to do well, to be honest with you, but Maeda coming off at half-time, then no clean sheet, just kind of wiped it out. But Trippier got a good score. Key did acceptable, and Kyogo did acceptable, but we need somebody to do exceptional. This was just, look at this, guys. No ETH for me. No ETH for me. This is coming with a tier 3 limited. Great to see Kramaric get a decisive on match day 1. And otherwise, yes, was decent. Roldan obviously is one of my best limiteds. I love the guy. The real CR7 of FC Barcelona is Christian Roldan. So yeah, I'll hopefully get soon. We'll hopefully have 2 tier 1s to do in pack openings for tomorrow. And I'm getting into round 2 away to Morts. Okay, so Morts will be a formidable foe, as was Mark Patrick Rare, and we're not going to be pulling any punches, let's say. Now, I was actually really struggling with trying to work out who is my best goalkeeper for this game week, because there's a lot of different things going on that kind of dictate what might be a good score this game week, and I don't have many that are nailed for a clean sheet, but I do keep kind of telling myself that I think Coronel is probably my best shout for a goalkeeper to get a clean sheet. He's my best kind of home fixture. He's in kind of good form. Orlando did spank Red Bulls in the Cup like a few weeks ago, but that's a cup game, and I think like the game day tactics would be totally different to a league match. And I think Red Bulls are good enough at home. I think Orlando are good, but they're not like guaranteed like killers in that sense. I think the back three would go Hakimi, Vickers, and then is there anyone else that jumps out? Maybe Robbo, but he did let us down last week, so I don't know if we maybe take that into consideration. Mulgrew might get rested again. Let's see how Thursday night goes. Guardiola should be back. Taylor should start again. Trippier should start, but away to Brighton won't be an easy game by any stretch. They could concede a couple of goals. Harwood Bellis away to Watford could be a very good scoring game for a centre-back like him. No doubt about it. Frimpong played the first game of the season. At home to Augsburg, he could be very effective. Serginho Dest seems to be playing a bit in pre-season. At home to Vallecano, he could be a killer. So I've got a good few kind of maybes, if buts, around this as well. I think Gaimar actually might be a great shout. You know, RSL at home for I think I might just go with Yaimar. What a back three that is, by the way. That is a killer of a back three, eh? Hakimi, Vickers, and Yaimar. That is solid as it comes, eh? In midfield, this is where the weaknesses have been early European season for FC Barcelona, and has been in midfield, you know. Especially in the kind of wide creative spaces. I've got a lot of central guys that can be good. I think Barreal kind of has to go in on current form. So I'll play the Barreal. Suarez isn't in matchday squads at the moment. Roldan, I think, goes into a squad as well, no problem. Elena Lorente goes in, and then I'm now looking for McGregor. Basically. And I think that'll be my midfield four. That's really strong. I'm actually quite happy with how this team's went so far. The midfield four, could I make it look a bit nicer in terms of the way they're laid out and stuff? Maybe, but I'm not going to bother. And then front three, this is actually maybe a really strong FC Barcelona team. We might stick to the philosophy. I think Jota is the first attacker on the... Let's just go well 15 scores because, we get Jota on. Excuse me. Now, I do have question marks elsewhere because I think I might actually want to play Kramaric through the middle because I think he could get a couple of decisives at home to Bochum. And I don't know how some other guys are going to do for minutes. Tony, again, I don't know how he'll do for minutes. We'll see how Thursday goes. Same with Cunha. Nemeka's got a tough game. I'm not expecting Wolfsburg to score more than one goal, if any. So it's kind of hard to back a goal scorer in that situation. And Castellanos, I think he's going to score. So I'll play him quite gladly, in fact. And then Captain Jota till I die. I think this is my best squad. I actually really like this team in a lot of ways. It's actually a really fun FC Barcelona team. I'm just going to pick my substitute goalkeeper. I'm probably going to go for Joe Hart. I'll pick my limited because it looks cooler. My backup defender. Now, what I'm going to think about with the bench, right, when I'm picking these guys is, are any of these bench players better than somebody that's playing? Okay? Now, when it comes to defence, like Martins, Robbo, Tolkien, maybe Guardiola, Crescito. Crescito would be a good bench player, I suppose. Some of these guys could do better. Trippier. But I think all those three guys there, their fixture is ace. Actually, I really like Lukeba as well. I think we'll put Lukeba on the bench because he's a rookie. And that just looks really cool as well. Because I don't think I'm going to need my defensive bench, to be quite honest. In midfield, I don't think Silva plays. Max Arnold's got a tough game. Morgan could be a shout. Leggett could be a shout at home at the Quakes. Leggett could be a killer, actually, at home at the Quakes. Soler could do okay. I think I'm going to go back to Leggett at home at the Quakes. That feels like a good fixture. If any of these guys didn't start for some odd reason. And then up front, I think I'd probably just go with Kyogo. Magic. The provisional team now that will play Morts anyway. Coronel in goals, a back three of Hakimi, Carter Vickers and Yaimar Gomez Andrade. Midfield four of Barreal, Christian Roldan, Marcus Llorente and Callum McGregor. And a front three of Captain Jota till I die, Andre Kramaric and Tati Castellanos. Loving life. With a bench of Joe Hart, rookie Lukeba, Leggett and Furuhashi. Morts, we are coming for you. The provisional team, we'll see how fitness and all that kind of stuff works out through the week. And I bought some guys, as you can see. I won a guy. I didn't actually open the reward until we got to the pub. I forgot I won something. But I've got one specialist team going out. I went and bought a Christian Pavone. I'm not even 100%. I'm pretty sure he'll play, but he's L15 under 40, so fingers crossed. Ishmael Jacobs, he is in my favourites list and is L15 under 40, so I bought him for like 13 quid or something. Ian Harks, I've got his super rare. He was £2. I already had Tony Watt and I already had Lampy. So let's just hope this team, let's just hope it does something. We're watching Dundee United on Thursday. We'll probably stream it. Live watch along kind of style. It's the only team I'm throwing out for the midweek. If you do have any teams going out, I think you've got a good chance if you've got a really strong team going out in particular, just because of how shallow the fixture list is this week, let's say. But yeah, that's all I've got for this game week, and otherwise I'm walking out with what I hope to be 2 tier 1s for this coming game week. What are you playing? Let me see. Sorry guys, I've missed some chat. Connor Aspel, fist bump, welcome to the club, my man. Thanks for joining us, season ticket holder, love it. We'll be doing member streams on Wednesday. If you want to become a member, there's a link in the description of the video. It's £1 a month and you join the live streams every Wednesday that are members only, or £2 a month and you get that. Plus we're in a Telegram group and we just talk Sorare all day and football and all that good stuff, as well as exclusive kind of giveaways and that kind of caper. We've been there. I think he's still only like 0.2. Who are we talking about? Nice mate, you're just talking. Jens was lucky not to get sent off for us jumping into the crowd. Oh yeah, I seen that actually. Also, do you think, I've got no idea who'll start. I need to go and investigate that in terms of get opinions from people who watch the game as well as watch the game myself, because the manager's comments I thought on Jens were quite telling at the end of the game, because he said like Jens did very well in that environment where Ross County, he wasn't challenged too much as a defender, is almost the manager's words. But the challenge was being composed, taking the ball forward, picking your spots, being successful, blah, blah, blah. So away to Kilmarnock which is the next game, very easily be seen by the manager to be the exact same type of fixture. And if he thinks Jens is, fit, ready, willing and able to do the job, and maybe he's going to play because he played so good and scored a goal, Starfelt may be ready or maybe not quite ready, who knows. And obviously Welsh, I think, was out with a flu or just a wee sickness or something, so I've got no real idea as we're at the moment. 2 wins, 2 clean sheets this season. I think you're talking about some Fife football. Sadly, my Barriel was let down by the goalkeeper, Joe Ducey. I'm sorry to hear that, my man. Andrew Connor, Oblak? Nah, I'm not going to play Oblak because in like those 11-a-side things, because Getafe, I've got Enes Unal and he's definitely capable of scoring a goal, and I think Getafe are well built this year. What are you playing? I don't know. Sorare Data. Oh, this is Sorare Data World Private League. And you can just play Sorare Data Leagues. I always do it, Tom, on the normal Tuesday streams or the Thursday streams, because I use that as a kind of guideline, because what I now have with this team, when you build, so this is private leagues, right, but what you can go to is SD leagues and you can just play. You will be starting here as a semi-pro manager, that's the way everyone starts, and then you get an ELO ranking points thing. This is kind of taken from chess. So you start off with like 1200 and then your points go up and down depending on if you get hammered or you hammer somebody, or maybe you draw with somebody that's about the same rank as you, or maybe you beat somebody who's got a better rank as you in the league or whatever. And if you don't play, it doesn't screw you over or whatever either. But I normally use this to build my 11-a-side team. I won this week as well against Lamps. And then from that, what I'll use this to do is then help me decide. Because when I look at this team now that's going to play Morts, if I'm thinking he's my best, right, straight away, my 3 best defenders are not rares or super rares, right? So I know when it comes to limited, like Vickers, Hakimi and Yaimar can be in my 3 best teams in theory. I think they're all 15 over 60, which means the specialist utility on them might not be available. So anyway, we'll see what happens. But then I can see like Jota and Tati are both under 23 rare forwards. So maybe I want to put them together. And again, limiteds are very strong. And again, I could even see limiteds as a really strong like American spine here of Yaimar, Barrial and CR7, Christian Roldan. Lorente super rare, of course, and then the guys on the bench, and then even the guys that were in close contention behind some of these places. Then when I go into SO5 to make teams, I'm thinking, right, well, these were the guys that were the strongest. Can I keep them together? And this was actually one of the things that I wanted to. I'll catch up with the live chat. This is kind of one of the last things I wanted to do on the stream that I thought would be good fun and some value for you guys. The new season begins next week. Yeah, that's for like Spain and Serie A. Will Hatate be back fit, ready to play? The chat I'm getting is Hatate is maybe out for about a fortnight or so, maybe 10 days from when he got injured, which, you know, I think we believe it was like maybe like Wednesday or Thursday or something, or Friday, around that kind of back end of last week is when he got injured. And it's maybe like a 10-day to 2-week job he's out for. So I don't think he plays against Kilmarnock. I think it'll be Turnbull and O'Reilly alongside McGregor again. Jens, man. Yeah, I hope he plays as well. Barry Al's rare still on. Oh, Barry Al's rare. That's a great price. I sold mine for about half of that. Or maybe I actually sold it for about 0.2. In fact, that rings a wee bell because I did sell him on a wee purple patch. I'll look into that. It's harsh to justify dropping Welsh. Yeah, exactly. It's such a great headache for the manager, and he loves it. If you've heard all his recent comments, the manager fucking loves that they're all so neck and neck for the spot. Vinny Jr. and 5.5 Efendo, huge purchase, but that was the move. You laid that move out, so fantastic. You're turning an Mbappe into a Vinny Jr. and putting, skimming 8 ETH out the equation. Fantastic move, fantastic. I mean, the Sorare Data League, now it's 6 out of 6. Okay, that's a shame. Got big hopes for Hatate. Yeah, so they are, but we know that the manager loves a strong squad. We know that the squad's going to be kept happy, and what that means is they will all contribute to the season. So, for correlation, I want all my guys to be playing together, of course, but sometimes, you can only do what you can do. So, Hatate been out there now, it's one of these things. It's football. You just got to deal with him. So it's me. That's what I tell myself. Just got to deal with him, man. Just got to drop him, take him off the board, and put him on the injured list, and then try and figure out the equation without him. Most of America is really cheap with Europe back. Yeah, it definitely is. I noticed that with Christian Pavone. Even picking him up for £50, I thought it's a great deal. If he's going to be playing for Miniero, if he'll be a killer. I might not even use him for more than one game week, but he's L15 is 28 or something now. So even if he has a good midweek, I'm hoping he can be L15 under 40 one more time, and that could be good fun for a great America card. So this is all this stuff that I've been talking about tonight so far kind of took me to my lineup builder for the coming game week. Now I'm pretty sure 2 seconds, guys. I meant to go and wipe it, or did I mean to go and wipe it? I think I did wipe it. Oh, I did wipe it. I just left the limiteds, right? Because the limiteds isn't really coming into the equation for this, right? So with all the stuff that we're talking and thinking about, right? Last game week, I laid out 14 squads or something. Let's go and look at them. So I'm coming into this next weekend wanting to win just as much, if not more, than I did this week, and thinking that it's going to be harder to do that. So how can I do this, right? Now, this kind of train of thought, you can kind of scale this up and down, I suppose. It might not be applicable to you. You might think it's a bag of shite. Let me know in the comment section below. But so how many teams have we got here? 3, 6, 9, 12, 13 teams, right? And we're coming out with, let's just say 2 rewards, right? This might drop out tonight. 2 rewards. And both of them are under 23 Rare Pro and under 23 Limited. Now, with the players I've got, when I went through my lineup builder, right, so normally what I'll do is I'll start with Super Rare, All-Star Super Rare, All-Star Rare Pro, and then I'll go to under 23 Rare Pro, right? Now, when I get to under 23 Rare Pro, the way I'm picking this team, right, is I think, first of all, I'm going to go for the nailed-on guys, right? I'm just going to pick them first and then try and work out what I need to facilitate them having a good game week, okay? In goals, to help with the right game week. In goals, we have probably Van de Voort. Tani away to Yokohama, no thanks. And Bilal at home to Istanbul. I think that might be Basa Shakir. Maybe, I don't know who that is, to be honest. I'll maybe look into that. Maybe a great fixture. But even at that, Van de Voort's a favourite away from home. Should be a good enough game for him. In defence, Harwood Bellis is nailed on, right, to be in my team. Midfield, no one is nailed on, just to give a quick summary, right? You don't need to know who's there, it's not important. No one is nailed on. Up front, Jota, and then outside of that, nobody else, right? So let's see up front. The Mecca's not got a great fixture. Castellanos is nice, but and then Barco, and that's, anyway, none of them are nailed on, right? They've all got question marks. They've all got they've all got notable potential downsides, right? But particularly these 3 guys don't, right? They've actually got a really good situation this game week. So even though These three guys were instrumental in the victory that we're pulling away from this division this game week. I don't think I'm going to get away. I'm going to get a super rare, this under 23 striker that I've got, to get that score again, 67. And I also don't think I'm going to get Tyler Adams or anyone else who could play in that position to really score much better than they did. Jota's maxed out here. Harwood Bellis has done well, and Van der Veert's been average. But I don't think, even if I was to maintain this kind of level, I'm going to be really hovering around this kind of tier 1 turf. I think it might kick me back into the tier 2s. And as you can see, this division doesn't actually have that much of a tail. Once you get outside the top 50, you're gone. So it becomes a bit more risky. And with Jota and THB, because I think they're just both monsters and they're so OP, I don't want them to go to waste. Now, they're U23 cards, and yeah, maybe I should have a better U23 midfielder. Yeah, maybe I should, but I've got guys that are injured and such, and all the rest of it. Maybe Acevedo could have a great game as a super rare. Maybe Adams could have a great game away to Southampton. Maybe Fujita could have a great game at home to Shonan Belmer. Maybe Reina gets a decisive. But they're all such crap options. So, where I'm at now is I'm actually just binning. I think I'm binning under 23 Rare Pro for this game week entirely. I'm just going to sack it off, and they are actually going to become part of my All-Star Rare Pro team. Now, if I'm going to put Taylor Harwood Bellis into my All-Star Rare Pro team, because I think he's got a great game, and I think he's going to do great for AA on this one. And I'm also sliding Jota in here. And I'm also going to have Kyogo in here, of course. This team kind of then picks itself almost by numbers, if you like, if you think of it. So once I get to Kyogo, where is he? Bang. And then what do? I play a super rare mid. That's Marcos Llorente. I bought him for this purpose, so we're buzzing about that, because he's not U23, of course, but he goes much better with Harwood Bellis and Jota, and even Kyogo for that matter. And then in goals, who's the most clean sheet likely? I think it is Coronel. We said that from the 11 aside, so I'm going to play Coronel here. So I think that's my All-Star Rare Pro team. It's beautiful, it's eclectic, it's all from all over the world again, kind of, in a roundabout way. Captain Jota till I die. But that's two U23 cards that are really quite powerful, and I'm just going to sidestep U23 entirely. I will play a rare team there, but these are the sort of decisions that you need to make in a game week. Is we talk about prioritising, but it's not just that like, oh, I won't play this guy here or there, or I'll blah blah blah. But it's like, this guy is one of my best cards, and like, if I can't put a Marcos Llorente level guy next to him, then let me just put Marcos Llorente next to him. And how do I do that? Well, I can only really play them in this division, so that's where they end up, you know. So I think that's what I'm going to be rocking out with for the game week. Now, I like doing my lineups this early, because then it helps me just kind of tag them in my mind for obviously like the rest of the week and whatever. So I think Joe Hart is going to be my man up here, of course. And I'm just going to Celtic now. I actually feel a wee bit disheartened playing Joe Hart up here after the scores it was required this weekend to get in amongst the podium in this division, because I think I am really requiring the guys to, you know, spank Kilmarnock like 4 or 5-0, and for me to have a hand in basically all of the decisives. Maeda is not going to get 90 minutes. Kyogo is not going to get 90 minutes, which is when you don't 100% know nailed on the manager's full opinion. We'll get that as the season progresses, but we know that there is question marks with Maeda. Kyogo got his goal, so I think he is going to start unquestionably, but Giakoumakis is always going to get his, you know, Giakoumakis minutes. And Maeda, maybe he gets his minutes from the bench this week because Abada scored the goal. Because the manager thinks it's going to be just like Ross County, and why start with Maeda to sub him at half time when you start Abada? So I think I maybe even drop Maeda on the basis of that. And I think actually what I ended up doing as I got to this point is I then started just building the best super rare team possible. And another reason that I want to go back and watch Celtic Ross County in particular is because it's the first time that we've had Kyogo and Giakoumakis on the pitch together, and I've still not seen it, how it worked, where people played, and then was it any good or whatever. I think I play Sorare as a super rare keeper, even though I don't think he's going to get a clean sheet, but I think he can be busy enough on AA and score well enough as a result. In defence, I think I've got probably a better shout than Taylor. I don't know, Taylor could do really well. I think Taylor could do really well against his old team. Trippier could be a shout. But no, I'm going to stick with Taylor, yeah. I'm going to stick with Kyogo. And then my extra man, if I got a better extra man than Maeda, maybe Legit, by the way, could be a great shout. Let me check out the... I'm pretty sure Legit has made his debut now. Somebody... Hey, Mai was telling me that, in fact, that's who it was. So he's made his debut, which he has, 88 minutes yesterday against the Timbers, and then his next game is when... Doesn't tell you the actual fixture date, but I'm sure we can check it out. So they were away in Portland, he's just signed, and now they're going to be at home in 6 days from now. Yeah, so I think he'll play. So I think Legit could be actually a great shout. What's the fixture? The Quakes. Yeah. How many goals have they been conceding? You won't be able to see this, I'm sorry, but just conceded 3 to Austin, just lost 1-0 to Miami before that. 2-2 with Salt Lake. Yeah, the Quakes are conceding, man. So Legit actually might be a really powerful SR mid this game week. Ki Sung-young, I've already looked at his fixture. It's not amazing. But yeah, I'm actually quite tempted to sling the boy Legit into here. McCrory could have a good game against Motherwell, certainly. Yangel Herrera might have a good match. But yeah, no, I'm actually quite tempted to put Legit in here. So I think he's quite decisive capable. But also... I also think Maeda's decisive capable, and I know if I don't play Maeda, I will be absolutely kicking myself. So yeah, I'm going to stick with Maeda, but I think Legit is a great card to maybe play somewhere else. But yeah, I'll kind of think about this as the week goes on, and we'll see if there's enough people in the Celtic community are kind of saying, oh, I think Abada should start, and maybe we'll listen to them a wee bit. We'll see what happens. So what I actually think I get to this point is I don't care about regions and stuff. I'm picking my best team for the best prize pool in my opinion, which I always do. This team's been kind of built for this division, so that's just it's kind of a copy and paste job, to be honest with you. And I've still not actually played Joe Hart now come this point, which is quite interesting. So where would I be playing Joe Hart? I actually think Joe Hart is maybe a wee bit less. Is he more likely or less likely than Coronel? If I played Joe Hart in Challenger, so I actually don't mind playing Joe Hart over here, depending on my options, because I can win Celtic cards here. So Van der Vert's still U23, Bezit's got a good fixture, but I think Joe Hart could be really good. Let's see how good a team we can build in Challenger. I don't think I've actually looked at this with Joe Hart being the guy. Taylor can be my rare defender, because he'll definitely play, so that's cool. In midfield, I could play McCrory, I'm sure. Yeah, I can play McCrory. I can play Jackie Marcus up front, I know that for... Yeah, I've got Maeda. So I could have a little mini... This team could... Oh, yeah, this team could do okay, by the way. This team could do okay when they're playing together. Interesting. So what else do I have? I've got the All-Star Rare Pro Belt. That's fine, yeah. Kyogo and Jota are there. That's fine. Yeah, that's all I've built, so... Where else could Hart go, really? Hart... I could only really replace Coronel. But then I'm releasing Coronel, who I think's maybe got a slightly better fixture. No, I think maybe... I should just go with Hart, really, shouldn't I? Rather than Coronel? Yeah. I should probably just go with Hart. I don't know, man. I just think Coronel's got a much better shot at everything, really, but tough one. Legit is home versus the Quakes. Good offense versus very leaky defense. Good strategy. Since you have the THB, have you considered picking up Muric? Yes, but he's very expensive. Maybe even Cullen and Benson. No, I'm not going to go for the whole way. Chrissy Quirk, I'm sorry, my man. Acevedo should get at least 50. You should go pick up a U23 mid. I've got a few. GamerX, 98X. That Turkish team is a recently promoted team. Is it? Nice. Good to know. And that was Bayezid, wasn't it? Interesting. I do have some guys. I've got Wirtz, obviously, who's coming back from injury. Like Acevedo's kind of meh. Barco's kind of meh. Reina, Wirtz. I've just got guys that are just kind of meh or a bit injured. or guys that are just moving now. Like, I think I've got Illich still U23. He's on his way to Lazio, and if he goes in as a first teamer there under Sarri, he could be really effective overnight. Barco could recapture some form. I'm not going to lose any sleep over that if he doesn't, but or hold my breath over it either for that matter. But yeah, so I'm actually quite torn on the goalkeeper situation now, because I'm quietly thinking to myself as well, let's even replace. What the problem I've got is, I think how high the scores were for All-Star Super Rare. I actually think this is maybe the slightly more appropriate spot for Hart, because there's not that many Hearts around, and basically running the full team. But I just don't think he can get enough. If he gets a clean sheet, he's probably not facing many shots, so I'm probably taking home like 65 points, which is fine, right? And if he doesn't get the clean sheet, at best I'm maybe getting a 52 or something. And even then, with the rest of the guys doing a decent enough score, I'm not overly confident that even he's there with a close to a 70. It's as good as it gets for Hart. And then between Maeda and Furuhashi, McGregor and Taylor, I can't really ask or expect openly for too much better than that score there. Really, 468. Like, yeah, I'm kind of hoping for a wee bit better than that, I suppose. But the rare keeper, I think, maybe holds it back a bit. I don't know how the fixtures go for some of the other big hitting teams, you know, but this could be a route for Celtic. It really could, you know. We're getting momentum, we're picking up tempo. So I only see our results improving in some senses, you know. But then what that would actually allow me to do, and I'm actually just kind of thinking on my feet now, right, is in Champ, because I used to play this division all the time, as some of you will know. I've not got the unique for it, actually. It's pointless even thinking about it. Yeah, I'm going to keep Sorare here, because I think the super rare keeper, like, I think Atletico Madrid could win 1-0, right, and Sorare could, like, still come out, including multiplier, with, like, better than a clean sheet, basically, from Hart. You know, I think he could come out with 78 points, which is basically just him getting 60, I think. You know, 104 points there, you know, like, Sorry, as a busy guy, you know, I think he's got a good chance no matter what the game of being really effective. And then, yeah, like, I can get all my outfielders to score over 100, I think, in the right match. So what's that then? Let's say I can get Taylor 100, McGregor 107, so 207. Maeda and them to an extra 220, let's say, so 430 I can probably expect from my outfield. So to get to the 500 mark, maybe not. Maybe I don't need Soria. Maybe I could do it with Hart. If these guys all, I'm asking for them all to bang, but Taylor, that's quite difficult. There was somebody I'm actually half convinced I dropped Taylor for somebody when I did this before. Was it maybe Trippier? Or even Hendricks, by the way. I think Hendricks is on for a great match. I know Taylor's going to be better. What am I even thinking about? Guys, I'm actually just DJing out and doing lineup building with you. I actually just meant to talk about this just for the point of, like, I'm just going to kick off U23 altogether to make my All-Star stronger. And then subsequently, actually, but even point remaining, by doing that, I'm actually now able to make not only my All-Star Rare Pro much better now, but, and you know, you can say what you want about Champ, right? But Champ Euro Rare Pro now, like, I can actually play Trippier over there now. Just make sure these teams are saved. And I can actually, now that Taylor Harwood-Bellis has gone in here, and Jota goes in here, I've got Maeda spare, and I've got Trippier spare, and I've got Joe Hart spare, and I've put Coronel in there by using this strategy. So now, I should be able to get the band back together. We've got Oblak, we've got Trippier, we've got Sol, and it now, what I've not got here on Sorare data, and this is what I actually want to play, is I actually want to play my Girona players, right? So I've got a Yangel Herrera super rare who's going to be playing away. Oh no, I actually think Yangel Herrera is injured. Scrap that. I'm going to play Soler. I think I'm playing Castellanos, but who's against Soler, but I don't care because I think Castellanos is good for a goal. Because Unal, like, yeah, I think he might score against Atleti, but I can't do that, man. Like, it's just too wild. Cunha, I think Cunha starts if Morata gets sold. Nemeka does start, but playing Bayern, it's a tough game to back him in. And Falcao's Falcao. So I think I'm going to play Woody McCryan, Tati Castellanos in there. And I think that could be a nice 2-2 game or something like that between Valencia, or even one each, because Valencia, I actually think Girona will do a number on them, because Valencia are selling Guedes and Maxi Gomez, like they're now. So they're losing a big part of their attack, and I know they've went through pre-season not really playing with them too much anyway, but they're high quality players that they're losing out on right at the beginning of the season. And Girona are only getting stronger with their signings, so it's just they're catching each other, I think, as they're doing that. So I think Girona will have actually a really good game, to be quite honest. But Sorare can still score very well, can still score a penalty, etc. And I think my best shout for a super rare might be Ben Henriks. Alongside that, yeah. So I think I throw Ben Henriks in here. I think he's good for a 55 to 60 on AA. If I can get lucky and he gets an assist or a goal, because he can do that, then I think this team could be quite capable. What I'm missing here is a Castellanos. I could have Castellanos down for 70 to 80 points or so, I think. What would we need to get into the prizes? You're talking about 370 or so. And I think, I think these guys could, I think this team could just about do it if everything goes the way we would expect it to. But I've got all these guys now really spare, which is a shame, really, I suppose. But that's how the cookie crumbles. And then it allows me to make Challenger, Rare, Pro. We've already made the Challenger, so I'm not going to do that again for you. And in America, I've still got Sean Johnson, who's a very strong goalkeeper, of course. And then what we'll finish up with now is a really strong all-star rare team. And I can still probably do a throwaway U23 rare team that I won't have too much of a concern about. So I think the best defender shout is probably Token here. In midfield, we've still got Leggett. So where were we going to play Leggett that we didn't yet? That's fine. So we can play Leggett here. Johnny Russell. Now I'm actually thinking Leggett might be a waste here, because I think he could kick ass and take names for Dallas. I think Leggett could, and I think he might be wasted in here. So then that makes me think, there's something to think about later in the week, I suppose. But the point is I can definitely make this team way stronger. Let's just put Leggett in it, right? Let's just make this team a bit stronger. Johnny Russell, and then my other super rare, I can play Barco, Acevedo, or Wanyama. I think Wanyama, Houston's probably a better fixture, so I can see him getting like treble or something like that, and getting lots of passes, because Houston are not great by any stretch. Average midfielder score 55. Captain Russell. We're just needing Russell to get a good game. He's not had many of them, so I'm not holding my breath on it. I could even play Hebert just for the goals. I could even just go NYC style, actually. Where's Amundsen? Play Amundsen, Leggett, Wanyama, Hebert. Probably keep them there. Let's even Hebert. Yeah, I'm going to keep those guys there, and I guess I'll just captain Hebert because he's the goal scorer. Probably just do that, in fact. And I'll put Johnny Russell in at all-star rare. Class. So, yeah, I'm not competing in under 23s, and like, yeah, I've got like great under 23 cards and all the rest of it, but it's all about maximising your best cards, and like sometimes you'll do the same kind of thing I've just went through, but it might be that you're doing specialist or you're not doing specialist all of a sudden, because you can wildly improve your U23. Because again, even though like I've won 2 nice cards or whatever, like for me, I thought specialist was like a big deal. Where is my team for it? Where the hell is my team for it? Specialist. Where the hell is it? Specialist Limited. Am I losing my mind there, sir? And it didn't really work out, you know. Now the goalkeeper let me down and all the rest of it. But U23 is, for example, so like you might find U23 is actually easier to win than specialist with, like, because, for example, Hakimi. I know Hakimi was very popular in specialist, and I don't know how many limited Hakimis went into under 23s, but I dare say probably less than normal. And there's probably less than normal that were captain as well, so that might have played a decent part in me finishing in the top 100. So that kind of consideration, it doesn't mean that like, oh, it's crap that I can't play that division, but you're making a strategical decision. Let's imagine Hearts in that challenger team. So we've still got Van der Voort, we've still got Tani, I've still got Bayezid, still got 3 fantastic keepers that are all 23s to pick for in my all-star rare team. I think I'd probably go Bilal, because he's probably got the best fixture then in that case. Actually, he might be better for the U23 Pro. Let's put Van der Voort in here then. Let's put Van der Voort in here. And then in defence, who would we have? I've got Robbo, I've got Guardiola, he'll probably go U23. We've got Hendry, let's imagine he's been used. Yeah, so we've got Robbo then. In midfield, Morgan. Yeah, Morgan. He's good enough, isn't he? Got a Saka knocking about there for needing our mid potentially. I've used Castellanos, I've used Maeda, so I've got Russell. I've got Kamala, I've got Andrade. I probably need him for U23s, won't I? I'm sort of solid base. Oh, the Scottish lads are all together. Fucking love that. Didn't even mean that. I'm just going to go and select these other teams, guys. Sorry, you still need to indulge me for a second, just so I can kind of rack this out. Because I think this is actually a solid strategy by taking away U23s, because I think that will be a bit harder. And just for the guys that are in my gallery, this hopefully is getting an increased chance of winning a Celtic card, I think. Like, yes, I think we'll do well against Kilmarnock. And McCrory could have a great game at home in managerless Motherwell, it must be said. Jackie Makis from the bench is a super, and then Maeda is like, yeah, liable to get the same or better kind of situation. We just captain Maeda. So yeah, I think that's actually a really solid punt. And what was the other one? No, we're not picking. Yeah, we're picking under 23 rare team as well. Now this won't be that strong, right? But I'll be able to make it stronger than I would have like by playing like the kind of weak super rares and whatever. So we'll say Beza, right? Decent enough fixture, you guys are telling me. So Tanny's not getting a game this week, it would seem. In defence, Guardiola should be back, so we'll play him. Tyler Adams will play. Fujita, I think, will play 90 minutes and is decisive capable, so we'll play Fujita over Adams. But we've got Adams if we want him. Castellanos is going to come up here, but I've used him in champion, so I'm probably going to go with Andrade. Yeah, Andrade's not a great striker, that's fine. And then, yeah, I think we fill it out with Tyler Adams. We could play Jens, but I'm not too sure about him as of this moment in time. So not a great team, but it could do okay. And I'm going to captain Joel Chima, because why not? He's decisive capable. So then who would that leave me with? So I actually think by taking out the under 23 rare pro, the kind of cascade effect it's had on a lot of these other teams is wildly positive, you know. Now some of them are, maybe in your opinion, square pegs and round holes, or people who haven't been utilised to the best of their ability. So I've still got Token. I could play Token in here. I think I'd rather play Token over there rather than Amundsen. I wouldn't play Amundsen in here, so Angelino is on the move. Hendry's maybe on the move. Forrest won't start. All these guys are injured. He won't start. He's not going to start. Isaka should start, in fact. Jubilee Owata is a really crap team. So yeah, if we're ever going to play Isaka, Isaka's my global guy, isn't he? We've got to play Isaka. And then, oh, who do we captain, man? This is a team of captains, really, isn't it? Any of them at home? Morgan? Alright, Captain Robbo. Robbo's at home. Lovely. I really like that team. I wonder if I got another Scottish player. Snodgrass isn't playing. And then I can go and make that America team defensively a bit better. America, Rare Pro. Yes, I think. I don't know. Amundsen can score good, can't he? I'm just not playing Token. That makes me sad. Can I play Token? Yeah, could maybe be better than... Yeah, Token's probably better than Adams. Yeah, I think Token's going to be better than Adams, yeah. So we can play Vegeta in midfield and we'll make him captain still. And then I think we'll play Token. I've said that enough times, I'm really sorry, but we're going to play Token over Adams. Captain Vegeta. Now, I'm not holding my breath over that team. That's fine. Sorted. Let me know, guys, what you think. That was kind of the last thing I wanted to just kind of demonstrate. You know, I feel like it's just, you know, it's a great team. I'm kind of, I think I've made myself wildly stronger this game week. Champ Euro Rare Pro. Oh, okay, so I need a forward, which is Castellanos. But for some reason, he's not coming up as available as a Champ Euro Pro, even though U23 is clearly marked as a Girona card, you know. So I've used Soria, haven't I? I've used all my keepers. Soria, Oblak, Hart, Sean John, Coronel, Vandiver, Bilal, Beza. Yeah, nice. So this is what I'm thinking at the moment. Let's see what you guys are saying in the live chat. Sorry, guys. I'm going to come off that page now because I've been on that for long enough. I'm looking forward to rewards and all the rest of it. Welsh won't be back in now. Starfelt is back and Jens is ahead of him in the pecking order. Do you think so, Hendo? Don't think Guardiola will get 90 minutes. Well, he got like the last couple in the last game, so I would be surprised if he didn't play at home at Cologne. Quinny, would you say it's worth splashing a couple? Are you happy with Angelino at Hoffenheim? Yeah, I think it'll be a great move, to be quite honest with you. I'm surprised he's happy with it. Hendo, ETH on some limiteds for Mega SRD. Hendo, if I was you, buddy, I would get Football Index, like limiteds, like your Max Arnolds and your fucking, like, you know, the guys that are like, you know, are PB monsters. Just go and get a couple of them, like Immobile, Depay. You know, like, I'm just got the same names in my head because I've had my own gallery. You'll remember some guys better than I will, of course. But I would just go and get some of those kind of PB monster types unlimited and just, you know, you just throw some teams out and they work, you know, like that's just kind of the way I've approached it. And yeah, for the side games like Mega and all that, like we've seen how good Mark's done, but XMK is right, like it's not easy, you know. Mark's very well crafted strategically, you know. You'll probably need to spend a lot more than you think. Yeah, I think XMK is maybe, talking from experience here, can't beat a lineup building session. No, you're right. I do quite enjoy them, and they're at peak prices. Some limiteds definitely are. Gutman is back, and he scored an absolute world day, but I'm not like jumping up and down to put him in a team because he did come off the bench, and there's no guarantee that he is 100% first team match ready yet, you know. I bought Welsh specifically to play this past game week. Oh, that's a nightmare, Padagul. I was very close to doing the same, you know. I was very close to doing it for the opening game of the season. I was very surprised that Jens came in after him scoring against Aberdeen. I don't think Guardiola will get. I think I caught this bit, sorry. You sure you're token over Adams? Need to ask the audience or phone a friend. Yeah, I'm pretty sure about that, Mikey. I'm quite nailed on for it at this point. But yeah, I'm really excited for that game. I think those teams are all pretty exciting. I'm not going to lie. I think I need a slightly better fixture to get super excited about my Celtic cards. But I think law of averages are playing in Maeda's favour, because this is the other thing as well when you are like playing by numbers. Like, as much as you're looking at, oh, this guy can get so many scores over 70s and 60s and whatever, yada yada, players are, some more than others, but predominantly players do go in runs and spurts and streaks. And like I said, specifically with Maeda, I do believe that he is like a form, muscle memory kind of player. And once he gets going, once he gets a goal and an assist or something, he'll be flying in no time. But equally, when he goes on a couple of games and not hitting, like I said with Viviano, like I'm actually kind of happy if people all aren't hitting together, because then hopefully the correlations will pan out together. You know, they're on the same kind of path, and that's happened for me in the past. So like, it's frustrating when weekends go against you, or when your guys do shit, but that's always a silver lining. And I always look at this gallery and I always think, like, when I was building that, if I was to build that team, if I right now was to go in there and build a U23 team with the Van der Voort, the Harwood Bellis and the Jota, and then everything else that would slide around that, all of those teams become, in my opinion, markedly shitter, you know. And I don't want to play markedly shitter teams when I think the game week's going to be harder. And these are just some of the tough decisions that we need to make in the game week. I did say I was going to jump into the calendar and look at the prize pools, but I've been going for an hour and 20 minutes, guys. I don't want it to put you to sleep. Chanot, I imagine, will be starting. Oh, good shout, in fact. Yeah, with Callans having a knock, Chanot should play. I do have a spare keeper. Do we have like underdog rare or something like that running? Because I think I could probably play an underdog rare card with some throwaway items potentially. So that could be quite good fun. So yeah, I'm open to having another team. This is just the beginning of the week, guys. Just laying out that first SD11. Tomorrow on Sorare TV, I'll be doing Mega Tuesday. We'll have Data Wednesday. Some of the members will see I did a live record for that, but they didn't release it. It was just a terrible recording session, I'm sorry. But we'll have Mega Tuesday on the Sorare TV YouTube channel tomorrow. We'll have Data Wednesday on Sorare TV, as well as the Underdog Specialist stuff that we cover on the channel, as well as Budget Builder, the End Product Podcast, and all that good stuff. On the main Quinny channel this game week, I'll be doing kind of similar stuff to what we've been doing tonight in essence, but just in some constructive videos and whatever. We've got a reward opening to happen tomorrow. We'll have a live stream on Thursday. We'll have a members stream on Wednesday, of course. And I'm sure there'll be tons of other stuff happening between now and then. We've had a great time, guys. I've thoroughly enjoyed myself. Good luck for the midweek if you're entering something. On Thursday, we'll probably catch the Dundee United game. We'll do a watch along for that, as I was mentioning. And if you are in for the prizes at the weekend, I'm crossing my fingers for you for the prize pools. I can't wait to see what you've won. Wish me luck. I hope I get a banger. I'll see you tomorrow for the pack opening. And don't forget to jump back, guys. There's been plenty of great content on the channel over the last week or so, and yeah, it's still sitting there waiting for you. So don't miss a beat. Yeah, don't miss a beat. I think I could. Yeah, that's an okay thing to say, isn't it? Yeah. Have a good one, guys. Stay out of trouble. Take care. Bye-bye.